Okay, hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my 2015 book goals. I don't know why I do that with my hand. So, I am I am talking about my book goals for 2015, which I think I have some pretty good and specific and very achievable goals, which I think is the number one thing that my goals are achievable. So, yes, I'm just going to get right into them. My first goal is I would like to read 75 books this year, which I think is very obtainable because last year I read 50 books and I started my challenge in May, actually. So, yes, when I first started my challenge in May last year, I had it at 65, but then I was like, that's not really happening. So I lowered it to 50 and I met it. And so I was like, well, if I have a whole extra, almost 4 months to complete this challenge, I think I can do 75. So that rounds out, I think, to about 7 books a month that I have to read, which is a lot. But I kind of accounted for sometimes if I slump, I usually make up for it during the summer months. My next goal is I want to read 10 classics this year. I know that's something that a lot of people say because I just never read classics. I don't know why, if it's because I still feel like I'm reading them for school and not for enjoyment, but I want to read them for enjoyment now, and I especially want to revisit a lot of those books that I actually did not read in school and reread those classics I should have read but never did, and classics that I've always wanted to read but didn't. Especially The Catcher in the Rye, because I have checked that book out and purchased it and still never read it. My next goal is I want to read more diversely, which means that I want to read more books of people from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds and more authors who are people of color, and more stories about people of color just in general. I think I have had a very narrow reading space because I haven't been reading diversely, and I just want to open that up and broaden it. Going along, I guess, kind of with reading diversely, I want to read more feminist literature, whether that be fiction or non-fiction. I just want to read books about women and the empowerment of women, because I think that's something that is lacking in my reading. And to make the feminist literature thing more rewarding for me, I also want to read literature that is diverse. So outside that realm of middle class white women, I guess you would say. Another goal that I have is I want to read more books in genres that I don't read. So that would be like sci-fi, fantasy, adult fiction, and nonfiction books. I read a lot of YA and contemporary romance novels, so I kind of want to explode that and read different things, especially sci-fi and fantasy, because I don't read any of that at all. And I'm an adult now, and I think it's time that I read some adult fiction, and I'm really excited to broaden my reading genres. I think that's all my goals. I'm like trying to scope out what I had. I have one more goal, actually, and that is to read more book series. What I have one more goal, actually, and that is to read more book series. My plan is to read one book series a month, and by doing that, I want to read either a trilogy or duology and finish it in that month. I know sometimes series are just unfinishable, and I'm gonna give myself leeway on that, but I do want to put more pressure on myself to finish series, because I know even a series that I love, I just don't finish. Like, I love Twilight, but I never finished the series. Like, I got halfway through the fourth book and I did not read it. I love the Ugly series by Scott Westerfeld, got halfway through specials and did not finish it. So I think I want to put more pressure on myself to finish series. I know this year I actually only finished 2 series, a trilogy and a duology, and I felt so accomplished, and I want to feel that accomplishment every month. So yes, that is something that I want to do. The main series that I really want to read is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. Is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I want to read the Olympian series and the Heroes of Olympus series. And with that, I'm doing it a little different. I want to read one book a month. That's the plan right now. So those are my reading goals for the year. Talk about my reading challenges that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing the BookRiots Read Harder Challenge, which includes 22 challenges, and I decided to turn that into my TBR challenge jar, and every month I'm going to pick 2 of those out of the jar and read a book that is about that. And here's my handy dandy jar, and it has things on it like read an author who published a book when they were under the age of 25, read an author who published a book who was over the age of 65, read an audiobook or listen to an audiobook. Just really cool things like that. As well, I'm going to be doing the PopSugar reading challenge, which has way more challenges on it than the BookRiot one, and that one has similar things to the BookRiot, but some of them are a little different. And how I'm going to complete my PopSugar is once I have my TBR, and once I finish a book, I'm just going to check it off, because I know one book can count for many different categories. So PopSugar is a little bit less pressure, I guess, on me. I'm really trying to stick to the BookRiot challenge because it makes me read very diverse. Yes, it does. It makes me read diversely, and it kind of makes me read outside of my box from what I would normally read. And that I get everything done, and I just kind of expand, continually work on. So we're going to make it a great year.